Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, we're talking about Epic Games, and in my opinion, they're being a little bit hypocritical here. So this is not sitting well with me. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comments below. Here is the tweet with Rocket League Sideswipe. On August 23rd, Sideswipe will be removed from Google Play worldwide and the Apple App Store in the EU. All Android players and iOS players in the EU will need to download Sideswipe through the Epic Games Store on mobile before the next patch. Now, as a quick refresher, Epic Games has done something very similar to this before. I mean, when they purchased Psyonix, who makes Rocket League, they pulled Rocket League off Steam and made it exclusive to the Epic Games Store. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Epic recently went to court against Apple and Google because of anti-competitive behavior, and I would argue that this kind of falls along the similar line here. I mean, you're taking Rocket League Sideswipe off the Play Store, where it's very easily accessible to a lot of Android users, and then putting it within the Epic Games app. Now, fortunately for Steam, though, if you already had Rocket League in your inventory before Epic purchased Psyonix and made it exclusive to the Epic Games Store, you can still download and play it through Steam. However, for Android and iOS, I do not think that's going to be the case. I find this very annoying to have to download a completely different storefront and then get the game through that, so it's an extra app that I really didn't want in the first place. Now, with my thoughts on this, I could be out in left field or something. I could be completely off base and completely wrong. Let me know your thoughts on the matter in the comments below. Do you foresee this being an issue? Do you even care? For Rocket League Sideswipe in specific, I find it annoying that they're pulling it from the Google Play Store to lock it behind the Epic Games Store. For brand new releases in the Epic Games Store, sure, whatever, but having a game already on the Play Store being ripped off is just annoying to me. And speaking about being wrong, next up we're quickly talking about Black Myth Wukong. Now, in yesterday's video, we talked about a piece of news that was controversial. I mean, this whole game has been shrouded in controversy, but at the same time here, this popped up online and a lot of people were talking about it. And it was stipulations for review of the game. So it turns out that these stipulations are more than likely false. Now, some people are still arguing that these are true, but some people who have reviewed the game have stepped up and said they didn't see this thing before. Andy Cortez says, been seeing this on Twitter today, but we 100% were not sent anything like this. Didn't hear about any other reviewers getting it either. Now, Black Myth Wukong officially releases on August 20th, and in spite of all of the controversy that this game continually gets wrapped up in, it's been very favorably reviewed so far. I mean, taking a look over here on OpenCritic, PC Gamer gives it 87 out of 100, IGN 8 out of 10, Games Radar Plus 4 out of 5, GameSpot 8 out of 10, God is a Geek 10 out of 10. And some people are hailing this as a Game of the Year competitor. Now, on an interesting side note here, although a lot of people are saying that the document is faked, a lot of people are saying they never received it, and that general consensus is that the document is faked. Some people are sticking to their guns here and saying they actually received it. There's an article over on the Medium that I will drop a link to in the description below. The author of this article, Don Parsons, says Game Science emailed out keys to different content creators on YouTube and Twitch recently, along with a short brief of do's and don'ts. He was able to talk with some of them. So I've got really no idea what's going on here. I tend to want to believe the document was faked, but at the same time, it could be real. Who knows? It just seems like the minority of people are believing it's real and the majority of people are now believing it's fake. Either way, Black Myth Wukong continues to be shrouded in controversy. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Do you think the email is real? Do you think it was faked? Next up here, we're quickly talking about PS4 emulation with shadPS4, and someone posted footage of Bloodborne up and running here. Now, we've talked about this one in yesterday's video, but we didn't talk about this gameplay footage specifically. The audio is messed up. The gameplay is not perfect, not even remotely close, but things are rendering. It is in-game, and things can only get better from here. I mean, here's another video with Kingdom Hearts up and running, and if you are curious about either of these, I'll drop a link to both videos in the description below, and feel free to check them out. In my opinion, shadPS4 continues to impress here. And speaking about YouTube videos, next up we're quickly talking about a game that's just been announced. It's called Ritual of Raven. I'll drop a link to this video in the description below, and I do recommend checking it out. It looks to be a pretty charming little game. Unfortunately, there's no release date, no price, and no demo for it just yet, and I don't know if it's going to get a demo or not. If you like games like this, right now Steam is having a wholesome game celebration, and I'll drop a link to this page in the description below. There may be some games on here that you weren't aware of, or maybe some games that are right up your alley. There's quite a few games on here, quite a few sales, and it is very interesting. And speaking about release dates, next up we're quickly talking about Duckside, which seems to be on a lot of people's radar. If you're a fan of PvP, PvE, open world games, building, crafting, and just flat out chaos, Duckside might be up your alley here. Anyways, they've just announced beta number 3 is happening on September 12th, and this will be an open beta. They say here that beta 3 will launch with a number of new features, including shotgun traps, mines, night vision goggles, new armors, and even more. If you are curious about this one, again, I'll drop a link in the description below. And continuing to talk about release dates, next up we're quickly talking about Hollow Knight Silksong, which seems to never be releasing. Anyways, Jeff Keighley has just confirmed that there's going to be no Silksong announcements on Tuesday on Gamescom Opening Night Live. Let me know your thoughts about this one in the comments below. Is Team Cherry going to swoop in here and surprise everyone? Or are they going to let people down and not really talk about it at all? Now, the initial reveal trailer for Hollow Knight Silksong was 5 years ago, at least according to YouTube, so it has been a while. The Steam store page still does not have a release date. And I am wondering if finally we're going to get some more information about this game, or if it's still going to be quiet. I am betting we're going to learn something here. Next up, we're quickly talking about Half-Life, and not Half-Life 3, but Half-Life 2. Apparently, it just received an update branch called Test, and people are saying that Half-Life 1 also had a test branch leading up to its 25th anniversary. Now, Half-Life 2 was released back in 2004, so I'm assuming that this is probably going to be some sort of 20th anniversary version of the game or something like that. If so, that would be pretty cool. Unfortunately, it's not Half-Life 3. Will we ever get Half-Life 3? Maybe, maybe not. But I think at least this is something. Next up, we're quickly talking about Genshin Impact, and it seems a lot of people are excited about Genshin Impact 5.0. when Natlan will officially be released, and this is a brand new Pyro Nation. Now, Genshin Impact 5.0 drops on August 28th, so just around the corner here, with 6 new tribes, but only 3 of them are going to be accessible upon launch, with the other 3 available later on. And speaking about version numbers, next up we're quickly talking about Batocera, and Batocera has just dropped version 40. So this update is called Swallowtail, and it's a pretty big update. I mean, there's a bunch of bug fixes, a bunch of emulators have been updated. They've added in initial support for the Lenovo Legion Go. They've added in support for the Orange Pi 03, the iNeo 2S, the iNeo Air Plus. They've added in light gun support for MAME and DuckStation. And there's a brand new feature here called Global Battery Mode option. It's under Game Settings to determine the power mode when the handheld is unplugged. To potentially improve battery consumption, you can adjust the mode the handheld operates at when running on battery. And last up here, we're talking about Launchbox, which has just announced it's having a massive celebration on August 25th to August 31st. They say here, it's time to celebrate. From August 25th to August 31st, join us in celebrating 11 years of Launchbox with big events, mind-blowing giveaways, and a heavy discount on both Launchbox Premium for Windows and Launchbox for Android. Now, their giveaways seem pretty substantial. I mean, on top of giving away licenses, they're giving away an Asus ROG Ally X, an NVIDIA Shield TV Pro, an AYN Odin 2 Pro, an iNeo Retro Mini PC AM02, and also Steam Game Keys. If you are curious about this one, I'll drop a link to it in the description below, and I do recommend checking it out. Giveaways are always fun. Free stuff is always fun. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.